I'm Matt, welcome to Matt's Garage. This is the journey of the 67 Mustang.
What was the process of finding and shipping the Mustang?
Pretty straightforward really. Harry from HV Mustangs assisted the whole journey really, from coming from California, originally from Texas but coming from California, Cordova. He brought it over here. I purchased it from his sister company here in the UK, from Surrey. There'll be a link on somewhere for that.
What were the first steps that you went through in the restoration journey?
Shit. Basically, it turned up on a trailer. We got it off at my house locally. It just about started, ran, stopped. That's what they call. So when you're purchasing one of these, when they say if it runs and drives, it basically just rolls and stops. But that was all I wanted. So initially it was just to get it starting properly, driving and stopping and somewhat road legal, so then I could move it to a storage company or to my new lockup.
So obviously you're in a much bigger unit now, but you didn't have a unit when you first got this Mustang. So what was the initial journey like for storage?
Painful. We couldn't find a unit, not the size of this, so I had to go to a local shipping container company. I bought two 40-foot containers, cut them in half, joined them together, fully insulated them all, ply lined it, and that would be the cave for this little beaut. So that was done locally on a farm before I was able to get something like this.
So what were the initial works that you did on the Mustang?
So initially it was more trying to get everything road legal, like I say, working. So lights, they weren't working. All the lights, basically, indicators. Getting the engine somewhat so I trusted it, because I'll go to local shows, all I did was break down. The fuel lines were corroded, tank was rusted. The actual car was solid, but it had been sat for so long. So we went through that whole process, and it was getting everything to look kind of original. But original block, but just getting it to look sort of back to how it was when it was new.
Did you have any problems while you were going through this?
Many. The main things were it had a 2-barrel carb on it before. I switched it to a 4-barrel carb. I tried doing all this myself through YouTube and obviously things like this, Instagram. But I had a slight vacuum leak, which was only where it was seated on the top of the manifold, so I didn't do too bad, but I was just going around in circles. Then the Borgeson power steering upgrade was easy to install, but then obviously when I installed it, all the speedo cable came down in the way, and then when I went to fix my lights and pull the dash out, they wouldn't come out as far as they should come out, because I had to disconnect the speedo again. So I would do it the other way around if I had done it before, done it again. Fuel lines, they were corroded, like I mentioned previously, so that obviously I would drive and then I would think it's clean, it would spit bits of rust into the carburetor and then it would stall again. So I went round in circles. In regards to power steering and Borgeson, let's get this right. Obviously there's power steering pump here, obviously, which we installed easy fit, straight out of the block, easy to install. When the lines come down, they come down here into the steering pump. Can you see down there? And you'll see that there's the speedo cable. I can't quite show you now, but cutting a long story short, don't install this before you've sorted out your dash lights. Sort your dash lights first, or make sure you route your speedo cable the right way and not the wrong way first. Everything else to go through, some bits which we've upgraded, is JBA long tube headers. Brilliant. Absolutely. And if you come around this side, you'll see down there. Can you see down there? That's it, yeah. And then new shocks, Scott Drake, Ford Racing, head covers, valve covers, sorry. You'll see that it's a new manifold on the top with now 4-barrel carb. Water pump still standard, just reconned, new timing chain in the engine. Alternator is still standard, so this car's still running on points, and it still hasn't got electric ignition on it. Again, brake-wise, I haven't got power brakes, they're still manual brakes. I'm not sure if you're going to see through here. There'll be a picture dropping somewhere, but inside here, obviously, there's Willwoods, disc brakes on the front, and original drum brakes on the rear. Little upgrade on the washer jets, because I don't fancy pumping my foot. So this is a new water tank for the jets, which I've just put a retrofit in here. It doesn't look, I mean, it's not period correct, but on the inside I've got a button, obviously that would spray out the jets. Pretty sure that's everything. So it sort of looks fairly standard, which is what I wanted.
So one question I know you get asked a lot is about the exhaust system. So talk to us about that.
Definitely, that's $1 million question. I'm not going to say it's more luck than judgment. It was more the fact that with the JBA long tube headers, which obviously I really recommend, actually, they're all the way down to the bottom, and I'll show you underneath the car now. So, multitasking here. So, if you look, am I going to get that? That's the exhaust system there from where the long tube headers meet. And they come down into a Flowmaster tubes, which I bought from CJ Pony. And then as you go down to the back, I shouldn't be showing you all these, they go into Super 40s, Flowmasters, my wand. Then we've obviously got, I'll put a link to the exhaust components anyway, but then we've got the pipe, because this is 67, the exhausts go up and over the axle. So they go up and over, and if you come round to here, here's where the magic happens, because see this straight tube here? This runs all the way back to the axle, and that's obviously where I get the popping and banging where I deaccelerate. So that, to me, is what the V8 Mustang should be. Not too loud, not too quiet. You get the pops and bangs when you deaccelerate and then go on the gas again. So that's exhaust.
So I know the interior definitely didn't look like this when you first got it, so talk us through that journey.
Once I'd got to the interior, it was sort of sigh of relief, really. That was the part where you're putting everything back together. Dashboard, again, dash pads, I'll put a link to the company, but I didn't actually purchase this. I'm a great believer in keeping original, so I resprayed this with a fabric and leather spray, which come out quite well, if I don't say so myself. Same as this pad, dash sprayed. I sprayed this back to black, tediously taping up all the chrome. Steering wheel, I just kept original. I sprayed this centre pad in black again, and then wrapped it with some leather lace, just because I think, you know, keeping it retros like that is quite nice. Liner. This, as you know, these normally sit quite low. I'm not the tallest person, but yeah, they have the old fabric with the metal lines, and I can't remember the exact name for them, but I got rid of that. This came with no headliner anyway, so I ordered a new one-piece plastic liner in from Texas, which was good, but I paid a lot more shipping getting it here, and trying to fit this inside, if you kind of, they go inside the rubbers here, and they clip in the back on the rubbers and all round the windlace here with the centre collar. It's a really, really good product. I wrapped this in leather, so it looks like that. It came black. You can keep it like that if you want it like that. My wife actually helped me fit that, and it was, yeah, very fun. Rear quarters, again, I get asked a lot about them. They're actually wrapped in the same leather as the headliner is. So that's them there. Again, I sprayed that white first to see whether it would look good. Knew it would. It did. So I wrapped them in the leather. So then that's them done there. And then seat-wise, these again are from CJ Pony. Again, ordered online. I wanted to keep it quite within keeping. So these are TMI, I believe, upholstery, but I'll put a link in there anyway, so you've got them. They're okay to fit. They're not the easiest. I did fit one, and then I thought to myself, I may as well take these as an upholsterer. So then he took him a few hours, and he'd done it for me. and a crate of beer, and £40 later it was done. So I think that was better than my time. And then obviously floor-wise, this was a traditional, this was again CJ Pony. Comes in 2 pieces, already moulded, absolutely brilliant. The only thing I really invested in, floor mats. I wanted proper floor mats, so they're not cheap when you want to order in from the States. Some of you guys might be in the States, so next time you can bring some over when you come for me. But yeah, I think that interior-wise is... Oh, there's one last thing on the interior. Door cards, these are wrapped on the original. I took the original membrane off, bought new ply, jigsawed it all out. That is part of mine because my other job is construction, so that was an easy thing for me. So then I just obviously recut these and then restuck all this on. This one needs redoing again because I haven't done that one properly yet. And then the last thing is, it's never for sale. And that is, I'll put a link to these guys as well because they're brilliant.
So another thing that people love about this car is the colour of it. So talk to us about the paintwork.
Burnt amber, colour code V, I believe, which will always be on your door. Just for some of you guys that want to match some of them, you will always have, he says, it's on the other door. It will be on the passenger side door. There's a code on there and you'll see what it is. It will be colour code V, or yours will be whatever colour you've got. Burnt amber. This was the original colour. There'll be another picture coming up with a link of what it looked like before. Really cool. Burnt out, matte, but I had to redo everything else, so I thought I may as well respray it. So we did. I took the roof off and found loads of surface rust. Sanded it all back down, got it all done. Everything else of the car was fine, but then it went to a local recommended sprayer. It was all done at that time. After about 6 months, started incurring some issues. They weren't very accommodating, but you know, I won't mention anyone here. But all I would say is just make sure you pick the company thoroughly who's going to do any spraying work, because that is your pride and joy, and that's the last bit you hand over, because I can't spray. So what this is going to go in for soon is an overhaul, which I didn't really want to do, but I have to. So yeah, we won't talk paint anymore for a while.
Has it had any upgrades?
All that what I've mentioned really, so it's power steering upgrade with the Borgerson kit, which is absolutely brilliant. Not too light, not too heavy, complete retrofits, it fits straight on. Willwood front discs and pads, which brilliant again. Existing drum brakes, so they're not done. Exhaust system, 4-barrel carb from a 2-barrel, with the new manifold and inlet manifold at the top. And I've been for exhaust system, electrical. I've got LED rear panels in the back lights. You can see me at night and you can see me braking. The Iconic, and they are from Banger Headlights, which is a good pal of mine and we do a lot of work with. So there'll be another link in there for that, and you can go onto my bio on Instagram and you can obviously use my link and get a discount on there. Upgrade wise, that is it.
Do you have any final advice or things that you would do differently next time?
Just do it, get it done, get a classic, put it back together again, enjoy it. If you haven't got the money to do it all at the start, don't. Just get it running, drive it, enjoy it, and then go through the process. Any questions you can always ask me, and then obviously I don't know everything about these cars, but I know kind of process. You'll see this one as well, which is obviously in the process. And then obviously with anything I'd change or do differently, yes, it would be definitely visit some of the jobs and speak to some people that have had cars sprayed by certain companies, so then I know that I'm not going to be in a situation again, because I thought that was it and done. But the other side of it is the order I would have done stuff in. Like I said, with the Borgs and power steering and the getting things in and out and trying to, it's tough to know what to do when you don't know what to do. But that's what YouTube's for, right?
So what's next for the Mustang? Will you ever sell it?
No. What's next is just a few bits. We've done many miles on this now, been France, Belgium, Goodwood, loads and loads of places. We've racked up thousands of miles. So what I want to do is just get it, it's running on points no issue with that, it's fine. I might get an electronic ignition. I don't know if to do it or not. People can recommend to me whether to do it or not, I don't know.
Drop a comment below what you think.
This one has electronic ignition on it, and it's absolutely brilliant. This one's fine, it starts up just emissions sometimes, and I think I've never pulled this engine out. I want to put some insulation in the bulkhead, because it's a bit windy through there sometimes, and then I think just brush up a few bits here and there on it, and just maintain, that's it. Okay, so that's a wrap on the 67 for now. Feel free to drop me a message, everything else about any questions of how the journey went and if you need to know anything, and obviously answer my questions, what I asked you about the electronic ignition and along that line, or any tips. I'm happy to take on any more tips on board, and let me know if you want me to drop another one on this journey, because this one is still in the making, and yeah, I'm out. Cut that.